What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage. This week, podcast number 28. It is just me again. Kyle, or Joe Schmo, wanted to be here for another awesome interview. This week, I have the awesome privilege of having the special guest, Riaz Mohammed. What's up, bro?
What's up?
Man, first Joseph, now you, who I actually heard about you from Joseph. Like, we were talking before the podcast that I recorded with him, and like he was talking about you and whatnot. Mostly because I don't think I had seen any of your credentials, because like all the stuff that you had told me, we hadn't like learned about any of that because we didn't start doing the podcast till like September. To which all the stuff you had mentioned would have already have happened. So yeah, it's whatever. But how's it going, dude?
It's good. It's good. Good to be here.
Hell yeah, man! I'm glad to have you here because I was kind of surprised when I posted that one video and you had messaged back about it, and I'm like, wait, are we gonna be able to get Riaz on this too? Holy shit, yes! So I was super hyped for that, and just like, Joe was the one that messaged me. He was like, dude, Riaz messaged us. Like, oh shit, okay. But we'll get right into this. Just wanted to make one quick announcement about our buddy Chris Cone, his Twitch stream. They're doing a charity, or he does a D&D Twitch stream. They're running a 5th edition, if I remember correctly. And they basically they'll take donations for the Children's Miracle Network, Children's Miracle Hospital or whatever. So they're running that as a charity for them, and the link for his Twitch stream will be in the description. If y'all want to check that out, it'd be super appreciated. But yeah, Riaz, just a couple weeks ago, you decided to wreck Dallas. Be like, all right, Dallas, time to get some ToLoveRu up in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You said you also won Springfest of 2016, and you got second for the Summer Continental that was in California.
Yes.
All right. We'll just get right into this. For each of those, just would you just please mention what series or decks that you played? Like, if you just want to go into each variation, that's cool too. Just whatever you want to do.
Oh, at Springfest 2016, as well as the Continentals for 2016, I ran blue, green, yellow Kantai.
That is actually my preferred setup for that as well. So.
Yeah, I ran the same deck. It didn't change. It was a good experience.
Do you have a deck profile? I didn't think to ask that. Do you have a deck profile for that on WS Decks as well?
Yes, I should have a deck profile for that on WS Decks.
If you would, please send that to me. Because I tried to go back and look at those when you look at these when you had mentioned that. But the English Weiss site has already changed over to the Springfest thing, and they don't have any of the links to be able to go back and check the other ones.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'll send it.
Please and thank you, bro. So that's for those two, and for Dallas.
Oh, for Dallas, I ran ToLoveRu for Dallas.
Alright. So obviously you won it, and you won Springfest, but mostly for Dallas, because I've been kind of wanting to getting the inside scoop on that. How was the overall experience at Dallas as far as the regionals and whatnot? How was it to you?
Well, the experience was, to me it was the same as previous regionals. It's just that it was a lot shorter than I expected it to be.
Yeah, that's kind of like where a lot of people I've seen posting up on the various Facebook pages and getting a little upset about that was the rounds were cut short.
It wasn't that it was cut short. Like, they announced before the tournament started to be 5 rounds, but in January, the Japanese Weiss Schwarz updated their ruling to their full rules to the one that you guys currently see in English, and I just feel that Bushiroad USA did not update their rules on their website. So, and also in their rules, they say that if there's any misconception between the rules, it always flies back to the Japanese rules. So,
Okay.
regardless of what 5 rounds was the correct number in terms of the their rules, but personally, I didn't agree with the number of rounds.
Okay, because from what I also was told, a lot of people that still only had like one loss that could have made it like to the top cut just basically got.
Yeah, there's a meme going around, and you've probably seen it, but we had 16 X1s that did not make it in top cut.
Damn.
And because I won the shop tournament as well, so I got the buy card, and only one person that didn't have the buy card made it in. Everyone else that had a buy card made it in, and only one person didn't.
Okay.
Because of the low number of rounds, and because of the way Bushiroad does their buy cards are like as if your opponent won all their rounds. So it gives you an edge over everyone else, and because there's so small number of rounds, only 5 before top cut.
Yeah.
It made a lot of people that only have one loss, the buy card people with one loss, would take priority over them.
Oh, okay. Damn.
I don't think they changed the rules to justify Dallas. I just think that that was the ruling they wanted for this year, and they just forgot to update it.
Actually, since you said a lot of that goes back to the Japanese rules, I never thought to ask this. Does Japan have the shop challenges where you can get buy cards?
No, they do not.
Okay, so that's for the.
It's English only.
English only. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was about to say U.S. only. Then I realized all these other big tournaments that go on in like outside of the U.S. and I was like, okay. Well, damn. Okay, I didn't realize that about the buy cards as far as like weighing heavier on that. So a whole bunch of people were very salty about that.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I did not. Well, then like, I also didn't realize that it was that they fall back on the Japan rules for that. So that's interesting because I'd only been like hearing from other people. So I'm glad to be able to ask you to basically get like the inside scoop on that because, like, actually, I knew one of the other people who was down in there was Andres.
Stocksoul?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's in our podcast group, and he done like a video and everything. He like going up there and all, and he had mentioned it to us, but I don't think he had gotten the whole all the details about it. So we had mostly heard about it through him.
Okay.
But then, like, I watched his vlog and everything later, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool, like, seeing all the people there. He said that also Weiss Schwarz had, like, a higher number of participants than, I can't
Buddy
remember.
Fight?
Then Buddy Fight.
Buddy Fight was the other one, because Vanguard was already on top 8.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was Buddy Fight. Yeah, Buddy Fight was, I think, a 2-digit number.
Damn. I shouldn't laugh at that, but I find that funny because of like how much they're trying to push Buddy Fight between having the anime, and that's basically between that and Vanguard, they're pushing that more than Weiss. So I'm glad to see Weiss coming out on top in that regard.
Yeah, it's also a very niche game because it attracts a certain crowd, and while the other two have animes to back them up, so.
I mean, technically, Weiss had like a little short anime thing. It
did.
Like
comedy, pretty funny.
It was a cute little thing. Like I didn't find out about it till I was already playing Weiss for a couple months, and then I just happened to go across it. I can't remember what the name of it was.
It's like Weiss Survive, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah, and I was like, wait, Weiss had a little mini anime, and I started sending it to Joe and Moroku and all of them, and they're just like, what is this sorcery? It was still a funny little thing, but it caught all of us just completely off guard. It was funny. Um, well, in regards to having won Dallas, you got the top for basically whoever wins gets an invite to nationals, if I'm not mistaken. Because I have.
This year and starting from this year onward, they have gotten rid of nationals.
Okay.
And they have the spring circuit, which is regionals for spring, and the fall circuit, which is regionals for fall.
Okay.
And the first place of all those regionals goes directly to Japan for Worlds. They got rid of the middle ground, and you go directly to Worlds.
Okay, so it's not like I said nationals, but it would have been continentals.
Yes. I mean, nationals is what I guess we use that word a lot for other games, but
yeah, that's what I always called it for Yu-Gi-Oh.
But I think it's also nationals in Japanese format. I think they call it nationals as well. But
Okay.
yeah, you go directly to Worlds. They got rid of the whole continental part.
Okay.
And the issue with before was the spring tournaments only went to continental, while the fall tournament went to continental and then Worlds. So this way, both tournaments on the entire year, first place gets to Worlds.
Gotcha.
So paid trip, everything.
All right. So you're planning to go to the? Are you planning to go to the big?
Yes.
Springfest thing. When is that?
I believe it's in January 2018 because it has to be done when all the other tournaments are finished.
Gotcha. All right. Between now and then, do you still plan to run ToLoveRu, or are you thinking of changing it up?
For now, I will, and especially with the sets that have been announced that are coming out, I will still stick with ToLoveRu.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's like some set that was announced, like let's say coming closer to Worlds that I think will give me a better shot, then I will probably switch to that. But as of this moment, I will stick with ToLoveRu.
That Milky Holmes meta, you ready for that, right?
Well, I mean, Bushiroad does own that stuff.
There you go. All right. Well, that would be really cool to see, because I definitely wish you good luck in that, because I'm ready to see how all that's going to go down. Like, ever since ToLoveRu has come out at the beginning of this year, and I started picking it up and everything, I was like, I definitely want to see how well the different ToLoveRu decks would do. Obviously, you're going to see Yamikan and the various versions of it. But I just definitely wanted to see that just start getting up there in the regionals. You saw the results for Indianapolis, right?
Yes, I believe it was
Cinderella Girl.
CG won. Then was it Sao second, I believe.
Sao got second and third.
All right, and then fourth was Kantai. Even though it wasn't mentioned, I believe fourth might have been Kantai.
I wrote it down. No. Oh shit.
Fourth AoT.
Second, third, and fourth were all SAO.
Okay.
Like there was a Kantai, there was an AoT.
Yeah, there were two AoTs, two Kantais, right?
Yeah, and Clinton Chan, I keep fucking that up. Was in there, and he lost to one of the SAO players. I can't remember which one he lost to.
I believe Alec.
Alec, okay.
Yeah.
So that was
he lost to his friend, I believe.
Okay, so those decks should be posted up sometime soon, and I just want to see what do you know what the builds were?
No, I didn't ask them personally what their builds were.
Yeah, it was Michael Broderick was playing Idolmaster.
He posted his build in like one of the Facebook groups. Picture of it. It was like fully foiled out. It was really nice.
Ooh, I gotta see this now. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I find it, I'll just send it to you.
All right. Thanks, man, because I definitely want to see that. Like, I'm trying to slowly pick up like the Cinderella Girl stuff, and like I finally got 3 Nita Minami. I need one more. So
yeah,
that's whatever. But let's get into the ToLoveRu deck you ran, because I think like anyone who wasn't like studying the meta and how ToLoveRu was run in the meta, both in English and in Japanese, like you said, you and Boats had looked into it a whole bunch and figured that the build that you and him decided to run or decided to work on was going to be more optimal. So
Yeah, it's just because I've been playing ToLoveRu since January 2015. I do own it in Japanese as well.
mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Yeah.
you can, after running it so long, you kind of see where it's weak at.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I decided to change it for the English format, just for the various sets that are always around in English.
Gotcha. All right, I got it pulled up now. So let's just go. If you would just please go over it and just break down the whole thing for me, like because I know you had messaged why you ran what you ran to me, but just if you would please elaborate on that for the people listening and watching.
Yeah, so the noticeable difference is the 4 copies of the Ren,
mm-hmm.
The 4 copies of the Clock Encore Run, mm-hmm. and then the 2-1 Run, which is at 9,500 power. Like, so basically, the terminology behind it is that you will be ditching a lot of cards from your hand if you have to keep encoring.
Mm-hmm.
Due to your 1/1 back row.
The Yami, yeah.
Yeah, the one that gets 500 character encore.
Mm-hmm.
But like your goal at the end of the game for ToLoveRu is to play 3 Yamis and slap down a climax and hope the opponent was at 3-2, or at least not hope, but get them to 3-2 before you do that, so that they generally lose the game.
Yeah.
If you are ditching a lot for encoring, you cannot keep your hand as rich as possible. Mm-hmm. Because you'll be ditching a lot of your hand, and to hold 2 to 3 Yamis, as well as maybe a darkness counter, and as well as some people like to hold the climax, that's like 3 to 4 cards, and to keep holding those cards between 1 and 3, it would be kind of hard if you had to keep bitching to keep a consistent field, and like not just like a field attack with like a rich board where your cards have value, like you're actually playing your advantage engine, or like the Clock Encore is on the field. Mm-hmm. It is because Attack on Titans and Sword Art Online, as well as Soundless Voice, which are 3 known decks here in English, Mikan on defense is only 6K or 6,500, so generally she's going to be run over majority of time. So my reason for the Clock Encore is that you'll keep your hand, and also the level 0 puts pressure, because if they reverse it and it goes to the waiting room, it will summon out a level 1. Mm-hmm. And also, if you have the 2-1, you can salvage as well, because you don't have to have the 2-1, but you do get it back to your hand since it's a pay 1 ditch 1.
Yeah.
And it does allow you to keep your hand up.
Yeah.
On top. Yeah.
I think that's one thing that some people were confused on. They didn't know if you had to be able to pull back the 2-1 or not.
Yeah, no. If you don't have the 2-1, you would just pay 1 ditch 1 and just summon the Clock Encore. Yeah. That's all you would do. Or if you didn't have the Clock Encore, I believe you could pay 1 ditch 1 and just salvage a 2-1, but that wouldn't be that worthwhile.
It wouldn't be as much, no.
Also, the 2-1 being at 9,500, its weakness is that it's a level 1. So it's bombs hurt it, but really there's not many sets right now that run bombs besides like Madoka. When Persona 5 comes out, I guess you'll see a lot of bombs too.
Yeah, it's got some interesting stuff in there, most definitely. So.
But it being at 9,500, it allows you to run over a lot of things pretty easily.
Yeah, especially like even if like they drop most of the early play. Not saying everyone's going to do this, but almost most of the decks I see run it. Like you said, SAO has the level 3 Kirito getting the Holy Sword that can come out early. Stuff like that. Like even if they drop that between buffs and whatnot. You can easily just drop a climax and get over that, like with the rune. Yeah,
as long as they don't have a counter, you can do it. And then you also have 1,500 promos. Oh, promos that give you 1,500 power too, as well, to help you get over it. So there are ways to attempt to deal with it. But the good news is it only costs 1 stock, while their card costs them 2 stock.
Mm-hmm. That advantage, though.
It does, a strong contender against Mikasa.
That's true too. Like you said with the Clock Encore, that you don't want to waste your hand as much. Like I've been testing, when I was testing it with the before I switched, because I actually changed mine over to start testing that engine with the Ren and Rune. ring, where I would have the 1/1 Yami and some Mikans in front of it, and then go to swing, trigger another gold bar, and just be able to save those for the next turn. I didn't mind pitching a little bit from hand, knowing that I was going to be able to try to get over those and try to get more searches going on. But I like where you told me sometimes you don't mind taking that damage if it saves you the hand between the level 3 Yamis and all that you want to be able to play.
Yeah. It if you have a consistent board, you're able to output a consistent amount of damage as well.
Yeah.
The only one of the downsides of my build, of course, is that it does take up a lot of spots in the deck, especially at level 0.
Yeah. And
it is prone to stock and clock bombs.
That is an aggravation because it's not like it's not like it's on reverse or anything. It's when that even gets around like stuff like Hibiki with the clock bombs. It's the fact that when it goes to waiting room. So if they did have something that got rid of it otherwise in a different way, I can it's kind of like Hibiki with trying to pull out the Verni, which is the 5/5 clock encore, to a degree. But I can see, whereas the Hibiki's on reverse, this being when it hits the waiting room and then you do all the shenanigans, then I can understand where there is some stuff depending on which matchups would have the stop. I think one of the AoT had it.
AoT, they have the option of both clock and stock bomb.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And then Sao has the clock bomb with the level 0 Yuki, but that's about it. I mean, I would rather just take my chances. And anyway, AoT is not so much of a favorable matchup for his ToLoveRu anyway, because of it's kind of hard to get a lot of Mikan reverses against them throughout the game.
True, especially because they got the damn the event.
The movement gear.
Yeah, that's such a good card. To me, it is just really, really good. When I explained to one of the newer players at the locals, who was getting into AoT, and I pointed this event out to him, and I'm like, dude, read this card. This gives you several things that you can do, and pointed out the different things that it could do. And he's just like, oh shit, cool. And just he really liked it afterwards. And they able to do that as early as level 1 is just insane.
Yeah, and the other good thing about this deck is that if you have the 0/0 Maya and the 0/0 change, you can potentially second or third turn at level 0 tri-field and get a lot of stock without having to worry about losing your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the ability to rush a lot easier than I guess what people are calling the standard JP version of the deck.
Yeah, that 0 Maya is really fun and good. But good point. If you go against another ToLoveRu player, you have they might run the level 0 Yui. That's also a clock bomb. I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, they also a lot of ToLoveRu players would play that.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Also, as far as the Japanese list comparatively, I noticed you don't run the Taiyaki of Memories, which I know a lot of people were wanting to get a hold of those.
Is that the level 1 Yami?
The level 0 from the trial.
Oh, the trial deck. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, yeah. I'm still messing around with the list, but I have not found any room for it at the moment, because with the Rens, I'm already paying one and ditching one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to add more cards, I would pay one and ditch one. I mean, I didn't just have the room for it. The only way I can see it is if I were to take out the clock bomb or Maya or even the promo, which I don't want to take out any of those. So I left it as a solid 4 and 4 because you want to enable it a lot early, as early as possible. So running max amount of copies of those two would help you a lot.
True. To which the level 1 event gets you more advantage anyway, because it's literally the same cost in the end, but you get more cards off of it.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I can understand not having to worry about that, whereas other people were like, "Oh yay, let's pull this signed. It's like $85. Okay, sure."
It's a good card. I mean,
It is, like, especially because you can run it in like the other decks because it does search multiple traits. Um, like I pulled the signed out of the trial deck and I was like, "Well, no, I'm not holding on to this," so I sold that pretty quick. So, um, so as far as right now, any other uh anything else you wanted to say about the deck or as far as like future sets that are, I'm gonna kind of bounce around.
yeah, you're fine.
As far as future sets that you know are coming out, like P5 or anything of that nature, do you foresee any of those becoming an issue for the ToLoveRu matchups?
Persona 5 might be an issue. I haven't really fought it enough to like understand all what it can do, but ToLoveRu's level 2 game is very lackluster. They have no early plays that are worth playing at the moment. I think we only have one, which is a change. You ditch two character cards from your hand, and you summon the early play healer.
Yeah, the Mikan. Like the only other one I remember can come out early is like the level 3 Haruna, but then that's outside of the traits that you want to use anyway. And color.
Yeah, it's outside the traits and color. There's no way to grab it in this deck. So, like I think one of the worst things for TLR to fight against is the early plays that heal.
Yeah.
They tend to delay the game for ToLoveRu, who wants to always be ahead in damage majority of the time.
Considering we like TLR having anti-salvage like Kantai, but not having the heal tax that Kantai has. So.
Yeah, so you can't, like, Kantai will have an easier time stopping heals.
Yeah.
And we do have Yami, so yay.
Yeah, that Yami. I'm needing one more, bro.
But yeah, I don't think, unless you have specific questions about ToLoveRu itself, I don't really have anything more to say about the actual deck build.
Gotcha. One, I'm liking it. I'm gonna be like, I have to test out my own version of it because I do not own the promo Mikans. Like between me and a couple people at the shop, opened up a couple boxes and did not pull any, and then the shop ends up getting two of them, and I'm just like, well, I don't exactly want to have to pay for these, but we'll see how that goes down the line. But okay.
I'm just waiting for Bushiroad to reprint me my darkness counter so it doesn't say what it currently says.
Yeah, I'll be very, very glad when they do that as well. Like, I basically, like, if anyone new or new people show up at the shop and I'm running this deck, they're looking at this card going, you realize what this does, right? And I'm like, no. I'm pulling up my phone. I'm pulling up the errata page, and I'm like, no, bro, this has changed. Bushiroad fucked up. So,
yeah.
So it's all good. I'll be ready for that as well. So, but getting back into the Dallas regionals, as far as that, during the Dallas regionals of all, basically you said you had the bye, so of the other couple games you had to play. Which match was your? We'll go. Which match was your favorite first, and then which one was your least favorite?
My favorite matchup was in semifinals against Sword Art Online. Carlos, he also goes to our shop. Okay. Really fun guy. Yeah, that was my favorite match because it was the hardest match I had to play, and I enjoy harder games to play. So to me, fighting Sal was very challenging. So I love that was my favorite match. I love that match.
Awesome. I enjoy that too. As far as like it's so cool when you can win by a decent margin, but when the game comes down to the wire, like just a few points of damage off, or like when you win still, like when you're at 3-6 and you pull out the win, it is just so satisfying. I understand where that's coming from. What about least favorite? Like which one would you say?
Least favorite was my second round. I fought an 8-2 soul deck that had that was playing Disgaea.
Oh shit.
He was
Okay.
playing this guy and he ran 8-2 souls. That was my least favorite match just because the bombardment of soul damage can be scary at times.
Yeah, especially when you're like looking at how many, or basically counting up how many climaxes you know are live, and it's like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. Um, yeah.
It'd have to be a tie between that one and Soundless Voice, because Soundless Voice, my entire field is dying every turn. Well, yeah. I mean, if he has a CX, he is reversing my field every single turn, which he did. So it was pretty interesting, but I didn't have too much of a tough time because it wasn't a 2 soul climax being played every turn.
Yeah, that's definitely not as stressful, I guess, in that regard. But the Soundless Voice being able to do what it does is definitely one of those that you don't want you don't want to have to deal with. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad those still worked out for you. Before the top cut, were you undefeated?
No, on
Okay.
the final round, I lost to AoT. I lost to AoT on the final round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made it in the top 8 as well. My friend Trevor.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost to AoT. That was a very close match, but he got it in the end. He got it.
That's still pretty cool. What build was he running? Do you remember?
Uh, it looked like it was yellow and green and red, I believe, because he used the level 1. I believe he used the level 1 Mikasa combo.
Mm-hmm.
He level 3. He had the Levi combo, and
Oh, okay.
uh, he did have the level 2 Mikasa combo. So if there wasn't a split of the ones, no, yeah, okay. So he was running the 2-2 Mikasa combo that on reverse you burn one, and he's running the
Yeah.
Levi combo.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's the type of build. I don't know the exact ratios and all that, but that was the general build he was using. And he did run Armin, of course, to block off anti-damage counters like Compass and Darkness.
Oh yeah. Armin does do that. I forgot all about that. Okay. Uh, that's pretty cool. But so that was the last round before they cut to the top. So
Mm-hmm.
after then having to go through the final rounds, the semifinals, and all that, in the finals, how was that last game? Like, just give us a breakdown of that.
Okay. So the breakdown is actually extremely simple. He didn't want to go to Japan, and he and I were friends, so he called the judge over and gave me the win.
Oh snap! Okay.
I think there was a lot of floating stories about how I triggered wins in Savage, or he got it, and there were plenty of stories being told online. I heard, but what actually happened was he just gave me the win.
Like that's still
Um,
cool. Like I can understand that. Like
he wanted support for Log Horizon, so he decided to play his best all the way, and if he happened to see one of his friends in the final round, he will just give them the win.
that's still cool. Well, I wrote it down and I can't. Vincent Ha.
Yes, Vincent.
Cool, man. Because as we saw those results getting posted and whatnot, and everyone's just kind of looking at it going, Log Horizon? What the fuck? Mostly because we don't have the power up set. And like I know it basically because like the level 1 game or something like that needs stuff from that power up set.
Yeah.
But then like everyone's going, wait, that level 3 Shearway stops the damage from like the cancel burns from the Yamis and whatnot. And I'm just going, I mean, okay, that's still pretty cool, but
Yeah, it does stop our end game, but we still do have healers and we do have an anti-damage counter. So
yeah,
I mean, it does have like I think he was running 3 mind shocks, so he can like get over he can drop it and defend pretty easily.
yeah. Another thing I think some people were confused on the effect of Shiraway. Where
Level 3.
with the level 3 Shiraway and the Naotsugu that has the bodyguard.
Yes.
When the Shiro has an effect that basically gives
-2 soul?
the -2 soul ability to the character facing. The thing is, with the bodyguard, that doesn't make it count as facing that Naotsugu, does it?
No. Only the one in the center slot will hit the -2 soul ability. The other two on the sides will attack Natsugo, but
Yeah.
they will not have the -2 soul on them. So, like, because they're not exactly facing him.
Yeah, they'd have to give that to the characters either to the left or the right of the Naotsugu.
Right.
That's what I thought, and people were
Yes.
going, "Oh, you can just stack the Shiro stuff on Naotsugu and get like -4 soul." And I'm like,
No, that's not how it works.
No.
That would make it like a lot better than it already is. Pretty good, and you're making it like way better than it is. So
yeah,
you wouldn't want that.
When people started saying that, I'm just like, no, I can't see that happening. So thank you for clearing that up, because I didn't foresee that happening, but people were trying to tell me otherwise. And I'm going, I'll find someone who knows.
Yeah, no, because the reason why is that I also do own Log Horizon, so I made sure of that as well before.
Yeah.
When I saw that effect.
Yeah, like I was picking up the cards when they had first come out. Like I didn't really get too extensive into the set. Like one of the other guys at the shop did, and he was like going for the full, like getting the Akatskis and everything, the level 3s, like as shiny as he could, and just was going for it. And I remember reading those cards and like, okay, that's a cool effect, and really didn't give it much thought. Later, and then when someone's like, wait, I know those cards. No, okay, no, thank you. Like that's gonna be all right, but that's pretty cool. We got we're still doing pretty good on time here. I know we already mentioned like the people who won the Indianapolis, and as far as the top results for that. Did you have any other thoughts or opinions you wanted to give on that?
No, I mean, I know a lot of people were expecting ToLoveRu to just like decimate every regionals to come, but like it's still new, right? The set came out in January, and also only 2 regionals have been released so far. I think it was good. I think it was fine. I mean, Kantai was up there in top 8. So was Sao. It was a very heavily used set in the USA. And CG is recently becoming a lot more popular around late last year till now. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It was good. It was pretty... I wouldn't say top 8 was as diverse as the Dallas one.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty good. Still pretty good. I knew, heard of a few of them, and heard they're pretty good guys. So
yeah.
Congrats to all of them.
Exactly. Congrats to Michael, and it was Michael, Alec, Curtis, and Andrew. It was like the top 4.
Michael was actually in our top 8 as well.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he was. Oh shit.
He was. And he was also in our top 8 last year in the tournament Joseph won. Yeah,
I remember writing that down. He was running Nation Blue, Cinderella Girls. The mono blue, where it was the Ronco. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Some people call it Nation Blue, but it was the Ronco and Nita build.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he got 3rd in that. So that's pretty cool. Which with SAO re-edit coming out, like the handful of new cards in there, do you think that's gonna impact a whole bunch of the SAO decks that are currently like kind of floating around now?
Well, it does. It would affect them a bit, but it'll affect the ones that decide to break away from Xenon more, because you have the switch combo now.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier this week because I completely forgot that Japan already had it. So I'm like, oh shit, Heart of the Cards must have this already. And I was looking through it, and I'm just calculating up like how you could do that combo, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So it will be cool to see that as well when that comes out, because I definitely plan to be getting re-edit packs.
Yes, I own Sao in English as well, so I plan to. I more than likely I will probably either singly order 4X of all the cards from the new set, or I will buy boxes if I have to.
Yeah, which was only like 19 or 20 cards anyway. I mean, that's still pretty cool. Like, there's definitely reprints of stuff that I'm wanting to get because I still want to be able to get the last shot Xenons because our locals ran out of that.
Oh, the extra booster.
Yeah, our locals also ran out of ToLoveRu. We killed all of the all of the boxes of that. So getting that back in stock is going to be hectic because people like the prices for those have gone up online. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I was lucky because I waited like until 12 o'clock midnight hit, and I ordered everything off of Ideal 808.
There you go. Which they're pretty good about a lot of stuff, so always a good site. But as far as like I said, as far as stuff coming out between we're getting re-edit, we're getting P5. What was it? Bang Dream.
We're getting Bang Dream in July. We're also getting Axel World in May, I believe.
Yeah, I was told that particular set they're giving us is not as good without the Infinite Burst set.
Yeah.
The second set was like what makes it actually. I want to say like I think I was talking to Pesh Cats about that, and he said that was actually a set that was played competitively a decent bit in Japan.
Yes, it is. With Infinite Burst, you don't really use much from this set,
So.
But there may be hope. I mean, if they're releasing that means Infinite Burst might come out.
This is true too.
They do have lots of money, so.
Yeah, at this point it'll be interesting. But besides what's already like been predicted, are there any sets that are currently in Japan that you would like to see come over here?
Currently, the only set that I'd like to see over here is Puyo Puyo.
You think they'll bring purple over?
I love the art in the set. It's pretty funny.
It is pretty cool.
It's also a really powerful deck too.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's any set, that would be the set I'd want to come over here.
I honestly would even want to see the purple Puyo Puyo brought over here just for the hell of it.
Yep, it may be a vanilla, but it does have the color purple on it.
It's just funny to me. Like I just thought that was funny because when someone told me that, I'm just like, what is this? Okay, that's pretty cool. Like I'm definitely psyched about P5. I can't think of any. Like I know a whole bunch of people who want Monogatari Season 2 so much over here. I'm like,
what I noticed about these guys, the Bushiroad, like if things are on the ban list or things are heavily limited, they seem to not want to bring it over as fast or bring it over at all.
Yeah.
Because like Nisekoi, which had a numerous amount of cards on the limited and ban list, they nerfed a lot of those cards. So I don't know what they plan to do. It would be nice to see the sets over here.
Yeah.
It will add to the current pool, and a lot of more people might pick them up. But
it's a lot of good stuff.
I don't know how they determine. I don't know what they used, what the terminology they use to determine when they bring over sets. Because one night I go to sleep, the next morning I wake up and I see P5 coming in the summer.
Yeah, same. I literally woke up and saw like some people had texted me about that, so I was like, okay, like.
And then last year you had like anything that was released in JP was released in English like not too long after. Like the Fate series was a good example of that. Unlimited Blade Works was released.
Mm-hmm. Good point. We're getting the Abyssals. I just realized that. Like, you think Bushiroad's actually going to stick to that now, and we're actually going to be getting it this time?
Well, probably because it's been a while, so we will probably get it. But at this point, I don't ever, unless it's actually released, I won't believe it's released until it's in front of me.
Yeah, same. That's kind of what I'm having to tell myself too. As much as I want the set, I'm having to say, yeah, just wait until you know for a fact. And Harry, which is our the owner of our locals, and Harry says, yeah, we got it in stock, and just until I physically see it, I'm not gonna believe it. So, yeah, I can understand that. Let's see. I cannot think of anything else immediate as far as questions. Thank you for clearing up a whole bunch of stuff as far as like rulings and whatnot. Like if I think of anything else down the line, I'll probably message you or something along those lines. Did you have any? We'll go ahead and wrap it up in a little bit here. Like we ain't got so much longer. If you have any shout outs or anything you want to say. Just whatever you want to throw out right now. The floor is yours, bro. Go for it.
Cool, cool. Shout outs to Make Marika Great. Their blog's pretty good, and
Yes.
they helped me a lot in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They were also, them and Top Tier Tears were the main contributors to helping me build this build.
Mm-hmm.
You already mentioned Bowstone Sync, so shout out to him as well.
Yeah, man.
He's always on the Discord channel typing.
Always something.
Yeah, basically it. I mean, shout outs to all those individuals who know who they are that help me test every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. I've never done really shout outs before, so there's my first time shouting out.
There you go, man. It's all good. He's like, and I didn't actually have to shout. uh, but hell yeah, man. Thank you a whole bunch for being on. As far as down the line, if there's anything, any topics or whatever you want to talk about in a podcast or whatever, just let me know, or we might try to invite you back. We'll probably invite you and Joseph and people along back again at some point. As I get OBS working properly, I'll probably try to do bigger things like this as far as getting more people in, as long as the internet connections behave. I'll go ahead and say thanks to the rest of the guys. I couldn't really make it for this podcast. Joe Schmo, love you, bro. No homo. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. Hell yeah, man. Just thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Much appreciated, man. I may have to bounce some ideas off you as far as like trying to tweak ToLoveRu as well, because I'm trying to get that straight as well. But yeah, and thank you to everyone who's listened and stayed with us this long. We'll go ahead and be signing off for now. This is Kool-Aid, and we got Riaz Mohammed, like not in the flesh, but on the Skypes. And that's it. We will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out.
All right.